Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So, as suggested yesterday, this looked like a double top, but we needed a break and retest of it before you traded it, and otherwise, it'd probably try to turn it into a range, and that's exactly what happened. What has also happened is that we're starting to turn here on our oscillators, and at the same time, if you look at this swing, well, not so much the swing, but this cluster of swing lows to there, look at the oscillators, we've got diversions. This one's quite not there, but these three lows here to that low, definitely diversions. So we are in the middle of the range, which is typical of a decision point. So what could be happening here is we could find a rejection area for another attempt down to try and break this double top. So it's not the best trade, to be honest, trading a double top, because we are in an upward trend, as I mentioned yesterday. So it's always difficult to try and jump in on trades like that. Now, if you look at the 3 hour, and I just try and find some structure here, you can see there's absolutely no structure. So none of these tails here lines up with an area of rejection. Nothing. Only thing that is bearish right now is the oscillators that have separated and looking like they're crossing over. So that's the only bearish signal that I have at the moment. So what we do have, though, is a break of what should have been resistance, and we do have that as a break to the upside. So we're just going to do that, because that's kind of the zone that we have broken through, and we've come back to test it. So if you come down to the hour, have a look what's happening now. We've got crossover of the moving averages, looking fairly bullish. Nice, decent level here. And then at the same time, we've got the oscillators easing off right now. So moving averages are flat. Sorry, they haven't crossed over just yet. They need to cross over. We've come back to test the break, which is always my signal. We drop below this. This is just more of the same of last week. So it's above and below the moving averages. And then I continue to sit on the sides. But there is potential for structure here, and to be honest, it's probably just aiming for 15.538. So if we just get down to 15 minutes, have a look here, grouping of the oscillators to the downside, strong move up, pull back onto the 155. You can see we didn't really test it yesterday. We got through it, we hovered around it, then got through it, and now we've pulled back to this area. We've got a bit of a gap from this morning up here, and also the actual DAX market close will be somewhere in this area anyway, which is why we've pulled back to it. So for me, pay very close attention to what's happening here. If we can find support, there's a bit of a gap here as well, and I think there are quite a few gaps here. There's a gap further down as well. There's another one down there. So very gappy move to the upside. Here's one here. There's one right here. So a very gappy move to the upside. So it's always, whenever you see that kind of move when there's gaps, it never quite plays out as it looks. So I'm still very cautious here. So the thing for me this morning is the same as on the S&P, is get above some structure. So at the moment that is 15,400, 15,397. Get above, find support. Then what we'd be looking for is sort of a 20-point stop loss for a gap closed 24 points, 26 points. Not much on offer, but then the bigger trade would be 26 or 25 points, should I say, move. Sorry, just opened up a configuration window with my mouse, but anyway, back on track. So the other move is, if you're going from here, you've got to say 32 point, 30 point, 35 points, round it off, 35 point stop loss. We close a gap, only 24 points there, but then you move back up here to 135 points. So that's a fairly decent opportunity, but looking at the 15-minute, we're in amongst the moving averages. So the converse would be true. If we break below this area, then stop is up there to 35 point stop loss, and a move down to here, which is a 90 point gain. But for me, there's no real reason to jump in on the 15-minute there, long or short. There is potential for something happening on the hour here, for a continuation of yesterday's move, And if you just get to the daily, you'll see rejections, buyers, so clear range. Basically, you still want to wait. You don't really want to jump in here and hurt yourself. And in fact, I heard a really good comment yesterday from another DAX trader, and says don't chase peanuts. And that's exactly what this is. So jumping in here, you're going to be chasing peanuts. Rather wait for all the noise, which is a lot of data coming out. Wait for that noise to uh, get out of the system, and then you should see opportunities to trade. And you're not going to be trading for peanuts. You're going to be trading for decent moves. So anyway, that's kind of my view at the moment. I'm cautiously watching because there is the potential for a fairly decent trade, but it's going to have to be rock solid. So I'm going to have to see something which stands out for me. And if you look at the 5 minute, I don't think that's going to happen. You can see how the 5 minute you would have got the long here, just a scalp to the upside, but don't really have the time for the 5 minute chart. So you probably find, by the looks of things at the moment, it's looking like it's going to reject and move back down. But then when you come up to the higher time frames, it's looking like it's going to find support and continue to the upside. So 50-50 call. So for me, still a sit on hands unless something really happens during the open, which sort of we find support and moving average start pointing to the upside and we start looking for a move up. I would be tempted to take that. I don't think I'd take the short, and that would be against the bigger trend for the 3 hour, 4 hour, sorry, 3 hour to the daily. So for me at the moment, this is wait and see. If we do find structure in the zone that we're in, it'll probably be worth the punt to the upside, but with a view that you've probably got a 50% chance of success. Okay, so with that noise, my advice would be just sit back and wait. But if you are looking, if you've got the time to sit and watch, I would be watching this area on the 15 minutes, 15,400 break, retest, or even come back and retest one of these tails. Hop in, tail below the low this morning, and you're playing for the gap first, so you can move your stop to entry as soon as possible. If that breaks through there, then you're looking for the top of the range. So that's kind of the only thing that I'd be looking at if I had time, which I don't have today. But anyway, that's kind of my view. Hope it helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.